Hello everybody, this is another outdoor unboxing. Let's keep doing them while we can, while the weather is nice. You guys seem to like it. Maybe it's just a little bit of a change of pace from my normal setup, but let's continue to do it. I'm here out on the patio and I've got this big box. This poor big box has been stuck in Japan for a month. And for obvious reasons, I'm not going to complain about it. Everyone's taking their protocols how they need to, and the country of Japan definitely had some limitations on parcels and how they were shipped out. So, Japan Booster, my friends there who send over the latest Tomica Limited Vintage, put this one in the mail at the beginning of, actually the end of March, and it sat in Japan at their distribution center for a month, and it's finally arrived. So I have the March mix, which is loaded of Tomica Limited Vintage. So we're going to get this box out of the way. Actually, we'll just, because we're outdoors, and we are going to check out what is here and do a little bit of close-ups and everything like that. But I'm literally got this package today, and I'm going to open them up. So you can see a lot of people have already seen this stuff. There is just some really, really good stuff. We'll put these on the turntable so you guys can see them. And I'm going to start with this because, as you guys know, it's kind of interesting that I am outdoors because typically when I do a video, I have a very cool parking lot and a used car dealership that I use as the background. And I get questions all the time as to, John, what are those? Where do you get those sets? And I've always had to tell them they're Tomicaramas and they're incredibly expensive. Tomica Limited Vintage does these special sets, but they haven't done them in a very, very long time. And because of that, because they're in such high demand and they're really nice quality, they're incredibly hard to get and they're super expensive. So they did a set, I think last year, a larger parking lot or a larger used car dealership. And now they've done something really cool in making a smaller set. Now I want to set these up, and I might do a separate video on this, but you can see here what this set looks like. And I'm thinking about incorporating this into my background set. So these are available at Japan Booster. I'm going to put the link down below. I believe so, if they haven't sold out, but they'll try and list them more. And obviously these are going to be a little bit cheaper. They just tend to get more expensive as time goes on. So that is this small parking lot. You see, it's very similar to the one that I use as my backdrop. And then this one is fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to setting it up. It is the Vintage Yokohama Tire Shop, and you can see it's got the vintage sign, the old Yokohama sign. It has a lift, bunch of other stuff, so we can look. You can see these are some of the pieces back here. But also very similar, pieces to the set that I've had used as the used car dealership. So we're not going to do those today. I'm going to consider how to use them, then I'm going to set them up, and we'll do it on video so you can see it. But we have some models that we need to get to as well. 4 of the smaller stuff, 2 bigger ones, and 2 Ferraris. I'm always excited when there's new Ferraris. So let's get right to it. Like I said, these have been out for a month and a half, I think, and we just haven't been able to get them here. So let's just get right to it. We have 2 of the Honda Integra or Acura Integra here in the U.S. Honda Integra 3-door Coupe XSI. I believe those are the same, right? And they get the spoilers. 1 in red, 1 in brown. We'll open those. We have 2. Oh yes, see, I'm trying to remember what these are. Don't be confused here. This is LVN86C. This is LVN187C. So 2 different numbers. They might look the same, but these are 2 different versions of the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. Look, we have the 5 and the 4, right? So we'll open those up as well. This is all this stuff. I'm always excited. I've always said it's like Santa comes every month when I get a shipment from Japan Booster. And this is a pretty loaded mix for March. The April mix is out. They're just they haven't been able to ship them yet just because of the restrictions. And I think those who have pre-ordered are going to get theirs, but they're just trying to find the right option. Japan Booster at this point. So This is, I believe, a new casting. It's the 1LV184, or actually it's the third version of a new casting, the Toyota Coaster, which is a transport bus, a smaller transport bus. We'll open that up. And then the next color of the, there's my daughter coming out. That's what happens with an outdoor unboxing of the very, very popular Nissan Atlas safety loader. We've seen 3 colors, white, gray, gold, and now blue. And we'll open that up. And then finally, 2 more Ferraris to the ever-growing Ferrari mix. Ferrari 512TR in black. I think these are both in black. And the Testarossa also in black. All right, let's get these things opened. All right, we'll just cut to the chase. No need to see me opening all the boxes. You want to see these highly detailed models, and that is what I am going to show you, starting with the Toyota Coaster. There are little pieces that can be added. I think I can show that right there here on the boxes. We're not going to do that. I never do, just because it's easier to store these. But you can see all of the details of this transport van. As I always mention with Tomica Limited Vintage, everything is to scale. So this would be a smaller, not as small as a van, but not as big as a normal city bus. Just something that probably transports workers or something like that. And I don't know exactly what this livery is. I assume it's licensed. But you can see all the details on the front, even on the doors here. The base, you can see they even have the spare tire, which is rubber. That's the kind of detail that Tomica Limited Vintage does. There's a Nissan van hauler that is very similar to this one. Maybe one day I'll put those together. So we take that one off, and now why don't we just move right ahead to the Atlas hauler. In blue, white, gray, gold, now blue. The white is still, it was the first one. It remains the most popular, the one that people are always clamoring for. But my suggestion for these type of models, if you like this, and if you haven't seen this hauler, it's pretty insane. You need to buy it now. Don't wait for it, because the prices on these always go up. And it's a cool hauler, but what's even cooler about this is all of the moving parts. I'll show you the details there on the bottom. You can see if it has 2 tires, they put 2 tires. They put the details, and this thing fully functions. It has the hydraulic piece on it, and you can obviously move it like this. We can preview. Let's see. Let's take the Ferrari Testarossa and just roll it up on here, and it totally functions. So this is always, haulers are becoming a bigger and bigger thing in the 164 diecast world, and I think the Nissan Atlas hauler by Tomica Limited Vintage is kind of the godfather of that scene. We'll get to that Ferrari in just a little bit as you look at this hauler that is pretty freaking cool, if I do say so myself. That is the Nissan hauler. Next up, let's go to the cars. Let's start with the Honda Integras, Acura Integras if you're here in the United States. This one in red, I think this is the 5th and 6th, if I remember correctly, of the Honda Integra. And they've been obviously, this is another detail with Tomica Limited Vintage that I always like to mention. If there is a subtle difference in the headlights, in the tail lights, in the side mirrors, door handles, wheels, rims, anything, bumpers, they will make that change from one model to the other to remain entirely accurate. They want these cars in their studio so they can study them and make sure all of the pieces are right, and obviously they are. They go perfectly to scale. So this Honda Integra 3-door Coupe XSI, you can see it's got these rims that are highly detailed. They have shocks too, in case you didn't notice. And then I just love the headlights on this one. Just showing off the details there, and then the interior. That one in red, and then we have the same model in black with a gray interior. I've got my daughter next to me. What do you think of these, Jane?
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. She just wants her Moon Eyes cars. That's all she cares about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So really digging the Integra. Just look at those, just the rear here with the exhausts and everything else. pretty incredible in black. All right, these have to be shown because they might look like the same car right off the bat, but this is the 187C and then the 186C Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4 and the Evolution 5. And there's some differences. I can put them together to start. Hard to see, but obviously if you look at the front grills, if you look at the hood intakes, you start seeing some differences, but obviously this is a tribute to both cars. In both versions, they've got spoilers are different. We'll go ahead and put them all together, but I just wanted to show you that there are some differences here. Even I was a little bit confused at the beginning when I saw them in the box, and even when I opened it up, I was like, there's got to be some difference. And of course there are. But again, Tomica Limited Vintage, doing it the way they do it, they will do every little difference. I don't even know if I've got these going back to the same one. So we'll start with the 4 here. So you guys who understand the history of the Evo, this one has almost like the hubcap rims. I don't know where this one sits compared to some of the others that they've done. Because it doesn't, I mean, it has all the trim on it, but I don't know, you know, and the spoiler and everything, but I don't, you know, with those rims, it doesn't look as sporty as maybe I'm used to with the Evo. But you guys can maybe explain some of that to me. Two-tone interior, I don't know if that comes across on this. Blue and black. I'm going to have to put all the Evos together here in a minute too. I think I have them. Oh, street cleaner coming by. Can't really see it, but there they are. And then this is the 5. Hey, outdoor videos, that's what happens. You get street cleaners, you get dogs barking. You get whatever you get. But at least we get to get the beautiful sunshine and breeze and weather. And
it's warm today.
A little warm, but it's nice. All right, those are the Evos. Those are really, really cool. And then let's finish off with the Ferraris. I will definitely do these. We'll start with the Testarossa. I will do those sets for sure, the Tomica Ramas, because they're totally worth it. But I'll do them when I can set them up in the house, in my office. All right, so here is the Testarossa. We've seen it in red. Have we seen it in any other color? I think that is it. I'm totally blanking. I'm not entirely sure. There's the dog too. This one has an opening part. You can see, I think all of the Ferraris do. Try and get somewhat up close there. You can see the engine there in the back. It's hard to keep it open. But Testarossa in the 512 TR. 512 is a little bit more of an updated car. I think we've had 2 colors of the 512. We'll get to that in a second. This one is fantastic in black. I wonder if they'll do a Miami Vice white. But beautiful to scale. Tomica Limited Vintage has announced a few more Ferraris that are coming out in the fall. I'll put some pictures up on lamleygroup.com. But really, really digging this. I don't know how many Ferraris are. I should do a separate, if you want to see me do a separate Ferrari video on all the Tomica Limited Vintage Ferraris, I'll do it. But that one is super, super detailed. And then, of course, the 512R. Similar styling, but a little bit more modern. And that one is looking good. Sits a little bit lower. And it does have the opening part as well. You can see that in the engine right there. There you go. This is the March batch of Tomica Limited Vintage, shown right before May because of what it is, but I've got them. They're fantastic. They are available. Just be patient with the shipping from Japan Booster, but totally worth it. You'll eventually get them. These are fantastic. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Janie for sitting in. Bye.